Hey guys, my name is Ben Howard. We're back out here at Pipeline to finish out a round with the PM line. Right now we're on hole 10. This is a par 3, 350 feet. Basket's basically just dead straight ahead, slightly tucked off to the left. Biggest thing you want to do in this is hit this gap. And the best mistake you can make is have something that'll fade out left earlier because it's more open on the left side. If you go right, there's OB down there, which is really hard to get to, but you can see how thick it is off to the right. It's a really low ceiling, really hard once you get over there. So I'm going to take the Zeus and just try and hit this gap and just finish left. Ooh. Okay. I hit a tree late and it looked like it kind of kicked me forward. So I should have a putt at it, but we'll see. Yeah, they ended up being a really good kick because it got me barely inside a circle, but still got to make the putt. I pulled it just a little bit. All right, guys, so we're on hole 11. This is a par 4, 450 feet. Basically, picture the last hole we just played with extra 100 feet added onto it. It's straight ahead, slightly tucked off to the left. Best thing you can really do is, or best mistake you can really do is just throw something out there, have it finish left, and give yourself an easy approach shot. I'm going to go with the ESP Zeus because it's a little bit straight in the big Z, and that's what you kind of need on this hole. Just something that'll go dead straight for a while and then fade out. Just barely off. That's a good kick though. All right, so I'm gonna go with the patent pending with the Onyx. Like I said, just want to try and go right. So put a little bit of anhyzer on this, but it should fight out of it pretty well. Oh yes. Oh, that's so good. That's I might be inside the circle with that. I don't know, but I definitely should at least have a putt at it. Okay, so I've got about the same putt I had on the last hole. I have to go straddle on this, but just gotta make sure I give it the height I need. Oh, dang, same miss. After that tee shot, I'll take a par on this hole. All right, guys, so we're on hole 12. This is a par 3, 340 feet. If you see this little yellow sign down here, it's 20 feet short of that and about 40 feet to the left of that. So really just want to throw something overstable out to the right, let it fade in, hopefully get a little bit of skip towards the basket. Only real danger is going long or going short left, really. But shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to try out the Onyx on this line. It's a little early, but I'll be curious to see where that ended up because I feel like that might be a little short, but it got a lot of carry I wasn't expecting it to get. So we'll see. All right, let's actually make a putt. Here we go. All right, guys, so on hole 13, this is a par 3, 320. Basket's straight ahead, slightly tucked off to the left. I'm going to take the Athena. I'm just going to try and hit this gap, have it push straight the majority of the flight, and then get a little bit of finish to it. Nothing really dangerous on this hole. Biggest thing is you don't want to go too far left because, as you can see, it's all really thin stuff that's really low to the ground, and you're pretty much stuck with like a forehand roller most of the time once you get over there. So I like to be off to the right if I do make a mistake. Ooh, be stable. Okay. think I'm like pin high, but probably a good 40, 45 feet right. So I'll have a putt at least. This feels like the putt I had on 10 and 11, so just give it more oomph, give it more height. I gave it more height. I did. All right, guys, so we're on hole 14. This is a par 3, 230 feet. Basket's up this way, tucked way off to the left. Really, on this shot, you just got to pick your gap, whether you want to go the inside route on the left or the outside route on the right. On the inside, you don't have to throw something as overstable, but it's harder to get that finish that you need. Whereas if you go the outside route, it makes the shot a little bit harder because you kind of have to just throw and hope you don't hit any trees in the middle of the fairway once you start swinging back to the left. But it makes getting that left movement a lot easier. So I'm going to try taking the Malta, throwing out to the right. Biggest mistake you don't want to make is going early left because it goes way downhill and it's really easy to lose your disc way down there. So I'd much rather kick right or just hopefully stay in the fairway. But that looks good. Clipped one tree in the middle of the fairway. So pin high. I'll have another like 45 footer again. Well, I've got a look at it, but it's a low ceiling, and as you can tell, the ground slopes away behind the basket. So just gonna try and lay this up and get out of here with a par. All right, guys, so we're on hole 15. This is a par 3, 380 feet, just dead straight ahead, as you can see. This one's kind of like hole 5, where it's just dead straight ahead. Don't want to hit any of these early trees because that's where double bogey, triple bogey come into play. Just want to get as much distance off the shot as I can. Don't really care where it goes. If I get down there for like a 40 footer, like I've had on every other hole for this video, I will be ecstatic because it's really hard to get all the way down there. But I'm gonna go with the Athena, see if I can just throw it on a little bit of hyzer, get it to pop up, and see if getting that nose down and having it go downhill will help it hold straight for the entirety of its flight. Dang, that was close. I put a little bit too much hyzer on it, and yeah. We'll see. I'm not too far off to the left, so I should at least have somewhat of an ability to get up and down. I think I'm going to try the Malta on the forehand. Just try and get it to bend to the left, flatten out, and just push straight the rest of the way down the fairway. A little bit of a touchy shot, but should be very doable. Just like that. Yes. Oh, man. I'll take it. I did what I wanted to do. So I'm back in that range I was in during the first video. Just 80 to 100 feet from the basket. See if I could jump putt these this far. I've never really jump putted that far, but just to give it some anhyzer, give it some height. Oh, ooh, that was lucky. Go. All right, so we're on hole 16, the par 3, 250 feet. You can actually barely see the basket up here, just the left side of this tree with the red arrow on it. It's way off to the left. The best gap really is this one right here. You can go sneaky through this left gap, and it makes it easier to get to the basket, but that gap's way smaller. So best play I found is just take something that's fast and overstable, give it some height through this right gap, and just let it finish as far left as you can get it to go. And if you go too far long, you can get it caught up in some gross stuff, but biggest thing is you just want to hit that gap and try and get up there and as close as you can. I'm gonna go with the Big Z Zeus. Push for me. Oh, dang. Got iron limbed on that one. Okay, so I'm not too far from the basket. You just have to throw the Luna on a little bit of anhyzer, get the bend right, just flatten out. Ooh, there we go. There we go. All right, guys, so we're on hole 17. It's a par 4, 530 feet. Basically, on this tee shot, you want to hit this gap with something that's bending to the right, and that'll bend for probably about 150 feet, then flatten out and push straight or fade out. Because it's basically like almost like a question mark shape with the rest of the hole. So you go out, bend to the right, bend back up to the left, go uphill another probably 250 feet, which feels like 350 feet, and the basket's up to the right. It's actually just dead straight ahead if there were no trees in the way. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to throw the Athena, just have it come out a little bit of anhyzer and just bend right the majority of the way. I do have to be careful because if I don't get this to fade out, it can go in the tree line through the gap on the other side, and then I just don't really, it's not hard to get a par from there, but it just takes out the birdie chance. So just gotta hit this with a little bit of anhyzer, just have it bend to the right. That looks really good. Now and I hit a tree. We'll see. From there, I'll just have to try and get out the rest of the way through the gap and then just see what I can give myself for an approach shot up to the green. Let's see. So you can see the basket from right here. I'm probably not even but right at 300 feet from the basket. I'm just gonna have to try and pick some gap and just get out and give myself a clean approach shot up there. I think my best chance is just throw a patent pin. Well, let's see. Yeah, throw some kind of patent pending with the Luna. Just try and get out the best I can. There we go. Sit right there. Okay, that'll work. All right, let's go ahead and get up and down. Biggest mistake I can make is throwing up something out to the right because it goes way downhill. So I'm just gonna try and throw this out to the right, let it fade in, give it a little bit of a run. Oh, pulled it. Swing, baby. Looked like it sat, but we will see. Ooh. Whew. It's in. That's all that matters. All right, guys, so we're on hole 18, final hole of the video. That's par 3, 350 feet downhill. You can see it straight ahead in this cluster of trees. Best play I've really found is like a straighter forehand or something you can flex over and have come back late. I think I'm just going to throw all the discs because I feel like I didn't really get a chance to throw some of them as much as I would have liked. But I'm going to take the first one, which I'm going to go with the Big Z Zeus. Just give it a little bit of anhyzer. Try and just have it push through this gap, flatten out, and come back out. Not a crazy amount of anhyzer, just a little bit. Yes. Come out. Come out. Yes. Okay. Oh, well, it rolled behind probably one of the biggest trees in the fairway, but that'll be a putt. Let's see. Next, I'll go with the Athena. Let's see here. I'm going to have to move y'all because I'm going to try backhand with this one. There we go. All right, and the Athena. Just throw it flat and hard. Too high. Dang. Dang, I would have liked to have seen that one fly. Let's go with the Hades next. So about the same line, just going to throw in a little bit of hyzer. Oh, man. I lost track of that one. We'll have to see when we get down there where they ended up. That looked like it might have gone long. I hit that one nice. Let's see, I'll go. I actually want to try throwing both these Lunas, because honestly, this blue one feels straighter than this green one, even though the green one's more beat up. So let's give it a shot. I'll go with the green one first. It's flat and hard. Man. Dang, I should have just thrown that. That's pin high. All right. And then for the blue one. Oh, that came out on some hyzer. Oh. Dang. I'll have to try that one some other time. It feels flatter than the green one. All right. How should I throw the Malta? Tell you what, we'll go back to forehand because I think I'm gonna throw the Onyx on a forehand too, and probably the other Zeus. So move y'all back over here, about there. Don't need to kill it, just throw it flat. Dang. Last two we've got are the Onyx and the ESP Zeus. I'll throw the Onyx first, and then I'll throw the ESP one, Zeus. I have to flex this one over. About the same shot I did with the Big Z Zeus. Ooh, dang. Just a little too much. And I'll throw the Zeus just flat. I haven't thrown this one on forehand too much, but I know it'll drift a little bit left for me. Oh, so high. Dang. Okay, so luckily I was able to find all of those. The Luna was like 25 feet left of the basket, pin high, and the Hades went probably 60 long. I was super surprised to see that. I figured I might have hit a tree or something, but that thing, it was in the perfect position for the red basket. It's just like, oof. But this is what I got from the Zeus. So just gonna have to straddle out. I have pretty much just dead straight putt at it. Let's go ahead and knock it in. Yes, there we go. All right, guys, that finishes up our round out here at Pipeline. Just to quickly run back through the disc real quick, kind of get my closing thoughts. First, got the Luna. If you've never tried a Luna, I don't know if I could recommend any disc more. As you can see on like 18, it just has so much glide. And like even when I'm putting, I've noticed it added like 5 to 10 feet to my putt whenever I first switched over to these. Like if you're just looking for a nice, fairly neutral to slightly overstable putter, these things are just gold. And like they don't come in a ton of plastics. It's hard to get them. I know they're expensive, but there's a reason why they're made for like one of the best players ever. So definitely worth trying those out. Malta, Malta's interesting because it's not as overstable as you would like for it to be for that overstable mid-range. A lot of times it's got so much glide to it that it doesn't really want to fight for you a lot of times. So it's kind of just one of those like weird discs that you kind of throw in your bag for like certain holes on certain courses. Definitely a fun disc to try out if you're looking for something that's just got a nice amount of overstability but still has a lot of distance. I definitely would recommend the Malta. Let's see, where's the Athena? Yes, here we go. The Athena, I, I don't remember this thing being as understable as it was flying for me today. It just kind of wanted to push straight and just drift. And it would kind of come back out, but it just never really, I never could really get it to do that. It's definitely a step up in a lot of ways from the Malta. And that's the one thing I would say that's really cool about this lineup is it feels like every disc is just a step up from another one, except for one I'll get into in just a minute. But if you're looking for that control driver that's not crazy stable but is going to fly, give you that just dead straight flight to it, definitely would recommend the Athena. And let me know how these fly in the ESP plastic, because I'd be really curious to see if they're more stable or less stable or what. Next we've got the Onyx, which the Onyx is just like the Athena's the step up from the Malta. Onyx is probably a perfect complement to the Athena, I would say. Just reliably stable, and I'm sure once the big arms get a hold of it, it's something they can throw and just have it fly exactly like the Athena flies for me. But if you're looking for that little bit faster Thunderbird or a little more overstable Thunderbird, the Onyx is, I would say, the disc for you. Definitely something to look into if you're looking for something in that control driver, 10 speed, 9 speed range. But definitely a really fun disc. Let's see. Next we've got the Athena. This one's kind of an outlier. It's a lot flippier than you would think a pro player would want out of a disc. And I've heard, maybe I'll talk about, he made this disc for beginners, not for himself. And you can see that because like I threw it on 18. Like that thing is just nice amount of hyzer to stand up, to turn over. It came out at the very end, but a lot of the times, like you can see on was it hole 4, I believe, the par 4 down the hill, it really doesn't want to come out at all. And that's if I hit it clean. If I don't hit it clean, this thing will tell me immediately, because it'll either just flip to flat and fade out, or it won't even flip up. So if you're looking for something and you're just getting into distance drivers as a beginner, this is a really good one. It does feel really big in the hand, so I might go with something a little bit slower for your first distance driver. But if you're trying to get into 12 speeds, this is a really good one. Finally, we've got the Zeuses. These are very interesting discs, because I don't think there's really any other discs like these on the market, because it's not quite at that same stability as a lot of other 12 5 -1.3s are. It's just a touch flippier, because like with this big Z one, which is I believe the most overstable version you can get, it's about in that range you would want like a fresh Destroyer to be, even though this is the most overstable one you can get. And then the ESP is like right in between, at least for me, it's right in between that Destroyer type disc and like a flip, kind of like a Hades, but like maybe not quite that flippy, where I could just have it, just throw it flat and it'll turn a little bit and just fade a little bit. It's not going to give me a lot of movement left to right, but it's going to go really far, even though it's fairly stable. So if you're trying to get into like overstable 12 speeds, and I would recommend these heavily, because they're just a step down from the Destroyers. But you can see, like, if you're getting if these are flying like that 12.5 -1.3, then you probably don't need to step up into a Destroyer. But once you get these to start flipping, then I would say that's a good sign that you need to move on to a Destroyer or a Rive or whatever else you can think of. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks to everybody that voted on the poll, said I had to come out here to Pipeline. Probably not the best course to try out a lot of these discs, but it was still a good time. If y'all have any other lineups you want me to try out, please let me know in the comments. But other than that, thank y'all for watching. Bye.